A man running a fraud scheme selling fraudulent funeral policies fakes his own death.
In an exclusive interview with the SABC, the new Johannesburg Mayor, Kabelo Gwamanda, speaks out about DA claims that he ran a fraud scam. DA caucus leader and former Mayor Dr. Mpho Phalatse has alleged that Gwamanda, through his entity Ithemba Lama Africa, swindled residents who had invested in a funeral and/or investment scheme. However, Gwamanda has told Mbalenhle Mthethwa that these allegations are an attempt by the DA to tarnish his reputation, and he is planning to seek legal advice on the matter.
He gets away with the money. He's never seen by the people he defrauded again until
Mayor Kabelo Gwamanda's State of the City address was preceded by pomp and ceremony. He arrived in a motorcade led by the city's Metro Police while being ushered in by a praise singer.
He pops up on television because he's becoming the mayor of the most economically powerful metro in the country of South Africa.
The government of local unities audited financial statements reflected a city with a healthy cash balance of 6.6 billion.
After telling the people that he defrauded for funeral policies in Soweto through the people that worked for him, that he's deceased. This is the story of the illustrious mayor, Kabelo Gwamanda. A mayor of the Al Jamal Party and the mayor of Johannesburg from the 5th of May 2023 to the 16th of August 2024. This is a true story, and this is South Africa. You get the leaders you deserve, South Africa. And you can say, well, I didn't vote for Al Jamal, I didn't vote for Kabelo Gwamanda, whoever that is. But South Africans are voting for every single person that allowed Gwamanda to become mayor. Gwamanda became mayor after his fellow Al Jamal councillor, Thapelo Ahmed, resigned as mayor under pressure from everyone in the coalition and everyone in the public and the media, because the man was wholly and totally unqualified.
What would this loan potentially be for?
It is for service delivery issues. It is for technologies, for smart city, where we can deploy.
What smart city? A decade ago, we were talking about the installation of CCTV cameras in the city of Johannesburg. A few weeks ago, you signed a new memorandum of understanding, again, around cameras. And
Correct.
We see those cameras capturing crime that you are doing very little about, because the inner city right now is such a dangerous place that people who don't have to be there don't venture there. So how is it helping us?
You are correct. Remember, I'm not in the office for the past decade. I'm only a month.
No. I'm saying this started
correct.
More than a decade ago.
All right.
You have belatedly, about 2-3 weeks ago,
Correct.
signed a new memorandum of understanding.
Correct.
And yet we don't see the return on investment.
There is.
Where?
There is in the city.
Where, Mr. Mayor? How many people have you convicted as a result of the installation of that technology?
There is a few of them.
What is a few?
I'm telling you, there is a few of them. I can't give you the number from the top of my head.
The man was unqualified, so the ANC and the EFF couldn't agree on one of their people to be mayor, so they chose another Al Jamal person, and that was Kabelo Gwamanda. He became mayor for a year, and guess what? Under his tenure, Bree Street, also known as Lillian Ngoyi Street, blew up, cracked open. In the most post-apocalyptic scene, taxis lifted off the ground, flying in the air, nearly crushing a man. The whole street just cracking and opening up, as if to swallow people and everything in its way, and everything atop of it. This is the mayoralship of Kabelo Gwamanda, which lasted a year. But my goodness, these are the leaders you deserve, South Africa. Become a member of this channel today on our Buy Me a Coffee page. You'll get exclusive members-only content, which are courses, 15 to 30 minutes long. We add a new one every single month on various topics linked to the channel. When you're a member, you get access to all of them on our Buy Me a Coffee page. Check it out. The link is in the description. Subscribe to the channel or Cyril Ramaphosa will be president forever. Since 2011, there's been 9 mayors in the city of Johannesburg. Before that, from 2000 to 2011, there was 1 mayor. 11 years, Amos Masondo. Now that tells you something. Love him or hate him, he wasn't such a great mayor, but there was some sort of stability there, right? And if you want to get what you vote for, it's better to get the vote outright. He had the majority in the city, and that's why he could stay on for 11 years. He was followed by Pautsdal, one of the most overrated mayors and politicians you've ever seen. After Pautsdal, you had the very promising Herman Mashaba, who did some things from 2016 to 2019. He was ran out by his own party, the DA, for being too close to the EFF, allegedly. And he was actually not doing such a bad job. According to the public and other parties, the DA thought he was doing a terrible job. I don't know about you, but the seat of the Johannesburg mayor seems to be cursed.
What do you mean by that?
After that, you had Jeff Makubo of the ANC from the 4th of December 2019 to the 9th of July 2021. Let's call it just under 2 years. He didn't last very long. Then you had Jolly D. Matongo from the 10th of August 2021 to the 18th of September 2021. He died in a car accident after only being there for just over a month. After him, from the 1st of August of 2021, you have Mpho Morero, who lasted just over a month himself till the 22nd of November 2021. He was replaced by Mpho Palatse.
Dr. Palatse, good evening to you, and thank you for your time. You championed this particular matter. On the news of his arrest, let's start there. How are you feeling?
Well, firstly, good evening, Gwali, and most importantly, good evening to the residents of Johannesburg. There's been justice served to some extent. The wheels of justice continue to turn. I believe the former mayor is out on bail, so we watch very closely the developments, but this is definitely a step in the right direction. Yeah. It's taken too long. I don't believe it should have taken this long. There's definitely some foul play. Firstly, there was compelling evidence. As you recall, the Financial Sector Conduct Authority said this entire operation was illegal, and that was last year already that their findings were made known. And I understand that the warrant of arrest was issued in May already. That's 5 months ago. This is somebody in public office. He couldn't have been hiding. You know, he was still mayor from May till August. From the time his warrant of arrest was issued, why was he not arrested then? Why was he not arrested in August when he resigned as mayor? So that really begs the question: what else is happening behind the scenes?
I don't know what it is, but something just seems off about Mpho Palatse. Something just says weirdo and off. There's something off about this woman. She came highly recommended by the DA because she's a doctor who entered politics and so on and so forth. And Mpho Palatse lasted nearly a year. She lasted nearly a year as mayor of Johannesburg from the 22nd of November 2021 to the 20th of September 2022. And every single day she was being challenged by the ANC and its partners to try and push her out. She was eventually pushed out, replaced with Dada Morero. What an idiot this man is. He came in from the 30th of September to the 25th of October and was promptly pushed out. Not even a month. And he was pushed out in October of 2022 because the Johannesburg High Court ruled that Palatse's removal from office and therefore Morero's election was unlawful and invalid. Meaning, Mpho Palatse could now come back in from the 26th of October 2022, lasting a couple of months until the 26th of January 2023, when she was pushed out by a coalition of the ANC and the EFF, electing Kabelo Ahmed, an incompetent, who they promptly pushed out.
Breaking news, Kabelo Ahmed resigns in the city of Johannesburg. I'm standing by with the latest.
Because he only lasted a couple of months from the 27th of January 2023 to the 24th of April 2023. Replaced on the 5th of May 2023 by Mr. Fake Funeral Plan, Fake Death and Fake Mayor, Kabelo Gwamanda of Al Jamal.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
5th of May 2023 to the 16th of August 2024. He lasted just over a year and then was pushed out. You could see that this guy's not up to the job. Kabelo Gwamanda from day one was under suspicion because people were saying, doesn't this man have fraudulent charges? Doesn't this man have a scandal of running a fake funeral policy scheme in Soweto? People were saying this already back then, when he took office in 2023, in May 2023. And it was pushed aside by Kabelo Gwamanda himself in interviews. It was pushed aside by the alliance partners EFF and ANC. And now
Action SA in Johannesburg has called on Executive Mayor Data Morero to immediately remove Councillor Kabelo Gwamanda from all his executive roles. Now, the former Johannesburg mayor handed himself over to police in Protea in Soweto on Friday. The Al Jamaah party member was granted bail when he appeared in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court for his alleged involvement in a fraudulent funeral policy scheme. Gwamanda is currently a member of the Mayoral Committee for Community Development. Al Jamaah leader Hanif Hendricks has lauded Gwamanda for his courage and for cooperating with the police.
Kabelo Gwamanda had an arrest warrant out for him in April of 2024 and had to hand himself in after coming back from overseas and face the charges that were known all the way back in 2023 when people who thought he was dead saw him on television. Now he pops up undead like a zombie, looking like one too if you've ever seen this man, running Johannesburg after being installed by the ANC. You get the leaders you deserve. If this is the procession of who is leading Johannesburg, you have to ask yourself who is voting for these people. You have to ask yourself what is going on. And it's going on because no one has an outright majority. And you have the ANC at play, the EFF at play, Al Jamaah, the Democratic Alliance, giving half an effort with a creepy weirdo as mayor who convinces no one. It's just that she's not ANC. She's definitely not Mashaba, who was far more capable, but now he's gone off on a tangent and is now working with the ANC. And honestly, Mashaba's decision to work with the ANC is not the craziest thing of this lot of people. He could say that's a political decision, whether you agree with it or not. Now Johannesburg is so fortunate and so blessed to have the return of another zombie mayor, Data Morero.
The priority is to perhaps sort out crime because Johannesburg is the most dangerous city in South Africa. So are you trying to say that perhaps documented foreign nationals should be hired because of the language barrier that police officers and JMPD face when they arrest undocumented persons or those committing crimes from other African countries? Was that the thought process?
The thought in the statement would have meant that, but unfortunately the discussions that we have entered in felt that at the current state in which we're experiencing high levels of unemployment and so on, the view was that let's find other alternative methods to help us address the language barrier, which may mean taking officers for training. It may mean that at certain instances, as the courts already do, have interpreters to help us to deal with some of the matters.
Who earlier this year in 2024 said that the city should hire foreigners as metro police officers because there's so many foreigners in the city, the metro police officers don't know what these people are saying. So if you hire foreign immigrants to be metro police officers, goodness, according to Dada Morero's little brain, you will now be solving the problem of foreigners committing crime in the city of Johannesburg, because now you can translate and you can understand what they're saying. Talk about missing the point, Dodo Morero. Isn't the problem illegal immigration and the number of illegal immigrants, illegal foreigners in the city of Johannesburg? Isn't that the problem? Not what languages the Metro Police can understand? This is the sort of brain you have running Johannesburg. All these mayors since 2011, and to tell you the truth, the city has not quite gotten better. The street blew up under Kabelo Gwamanda. He was apparently dead. He defrauded people of funeral policies. If a man can defraud people using a funeral policy scheme, what do you think he's going to do as mayor? Be a saint, an honest person? Or is he controllable by the ANC and the EFF and Al Jamaah, the people that gave him the seat, so that they could carry on doing whatever they want, especially the corruption and handing out tenders to themselves, while they worked on getting Dada Morero back in 2024? He was just keeping the seat warm because he's a non-entity, he's a nobody. I mean, the man's supposed to be dead, isn't he?
Okay.
You get what you vote for, South Africa. In conclusion, the best thing is to go out and support a conservative party with strict conservative principles, and you must vote them in outright, whether it's for your local election in 2026, for your mayor or for your ward councillor, or whether it's the national election in 2029, and try to vote for them outright, because if you don't, this is what you get. The saddest game of musical chairs you've ever seen. And what is the result? The most powerful economic city in the country is being run like this. Vote in Conservatives and vote them in outright. A saying, people demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought, which they seldom use. It's important to remember that you get the leaders you deserve. So you must use your freedom of speech, which voting is a part, to vote in the right people. And I would recommend considering a Conservative party and voting them in outright. It's important that you try and do your part to get that done. By voting, and even before the vote, doing a little activism of your own and getting people to vote aligned with those values, those Conservative values, and voting in a party outright that you know can do the job whether you love them or hate them, to vote strategically so that you avoid people like Kabelo Gwamanda. The case is closed, my friend. Kabelo Gwamanda is not dead. He is in fact very much alive. He is a fraudster. He is a fake mayor. And he might not be honest or a good mayor, but you can't say he's not interesting. In a corrupt, peevish, servile, dirty, rotten scum type of way. Thank you for listening. If you dare, buy us a coffee. The link is in the description.
Runa.